Welcome to another Knowing You show. I'm your host, Tiffany Cano. Today we have Kadin McElwain. He's an autistic college student, a writer, an activist on a mission to raise an awareness about autism. And I thought he had a really great mission, so I invited him here. So during his life, he has had his capabilities questioned due to who he is. And thanks to his supportive, amazing parents and community, he's proved those naysayers wrong. So, Kadin, will you please tell us a little bit about yourself and let us get to know you? And by the way, you guys, his power went out and he is still here, like with a flashlight, because he's that committed to getting awareness out. So, thank you.
I definitely am with any of my endeavors for that matter, honestly. As saying goes, Mother Nature doesn't decide when a cause is spread. But thanks for having me, Tiffany. So, like you said, I'm an autistic college student, writer, and activist, pretty much on a mission to bring attention to the cause of autism awareness. I was diagnosed when I was 2 years old, and starting with the very doctor that diagnosed me, people honestly questioned my capabilities due to who I was, the stigma surrounding autism, that kind of thing, which I can't blame them. I was diagnosed in 2006 when I was 2 years old. I'm 20 years old now, and times were different back then. And the doctor even said, and I quote, don't expect trade school for him. Expect college, I should say. Don't expect college for him. Expect trade school for him. And my parents weren't going to have that. So they invested so much time and energy into me. ABA therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, yelling at teachers at IEP meetings when they weren't doing their jobs and looking after their students. One time, my IEP in middle school was actually cut off completely without parental knowledge or consent, which is illegal. And looking back at it, I think the reason was that I like to keep to myself, didn't talk much, and was doing well academically, like really well. In sixth grade, I was able to get 4 honor rolls in a row for all
Nice.
4 of those quarters. So they probably looked at that and thought, that doesn't scream autism to me. When looking back at it, I felt like they should have known that autism isn't necessarily how intelligent you are. It could be other things. For me, it's the social stuff, I should say. But back to the topic, my parents weren't going to tolerate that either, so they wrote to every single autism organization in Tennessee, which is where the middle school is located, and the state senator to get that squared away again, because they knew I needed that. That's how committed they were to me, and I'm appreciative of that for them. And then COVID hit, and everything was online, including school. So I had to adjust, which is hard for people with autism. But after a while, I got into it, was able to concentrate better, and I graduated early in 2022 on Valentine's Day. It wasn't anything crazy. It was only a couple of months, but still, graduating early was a true honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. And as soon as I started college, that's where my advocacy work began. It started with a class project in December of 2022. The assignment was to think of a way to help the community and act upon it. So my group and I set up a GoFundMe for the Autism Society of America, one of my favorite organizations. We raised over $1,000 for it, and we even won a contest with it.
Nice.
It definitely looks good on the resume. Not that I'm concerned about that. I'm just a guy who believes in this cause. But I saw, as typical with my generation, the TikTok generation, my group really wasn't into it. They only wanted to do the assignment to get the great and prize money we got for winning the contest. And I saw that autism isn't a cause commonly paid attention to enough. There are bills out there, one being the Autism Cares Act, but we still have a lot of work to do, in my opinion. So I decided if no one else is going to pay attention to this cause, I might as well do so for society. So that class project led to all these opportunities, appearing on platforms like this one, over 50 just this year alone, I should say, giving speeches
Wow.
to
That's
various
wonderful.
organizations and groups.
So, tell me about some of the common misconceptions about autism and also how it falls on the spectrum.
I can name two right off the bat. One misconception is autism is caused by vaccinations. That's not true. For me, it was genetics and most likely some of the food I eat. I highly think the food we eat is a cause of some disorders and health problems and complications. Given how everything is processed, I've honestly been working on eating healthier now that I'm 20 years old to be around longer. I was able to kick caffeine, at least bad caffeine, and replace it with coffee. And I've been working out as of May, so that's been helping me out. And another misconception about autism is there's only two kinds of autism: high functioning Rain Man savant style, or low functioning, can't walk, can't talk, and you have to be taken care of. Where I'm at is high functioning, where I'm incredibly intelligent, can do all these things and more. I'm just socially awkward at times and have struggles understanding facial cues and taking things literally and that kind of thing.
And how can people who are still in the process of learning and becoming more aware of autism, how can we best support you?
You, in the sense of a autism community,
Yeah, in the
I would,
sense of an autism community, and and also, so we'll start there, and then I want to break it down. So start there, please.
well, I would say, in the sense of the autism community, go out and volunteer. Go watch documentaries on autism. Support your favorite autism organization. Volunteer at your local autism center. There's more than enough ways to learn about autism,
Mhm.
or talk to someone with autism, on social media. Yeah, or listen to a platform like this hosted by someone with autism. One good one is Autism Rocks and Rolls with Sam Mitchell, who I had the pleasure of speaking to and appearing on his show.
Nice. That's fantastic. Yeah, when I would say about 15 years ago, I was doing healings for brain regeneration. One of my clients had a son with autism. He was in junior high at the time, and probably I would say somewhere in the, like, if like low functioning is at a level 1 and high functioning is at a level 10, he was probably like 3 4, in that range. And I facilitated distant healing for brain regeneration, and he started being less emotional, more communicative, making some eye contact, doing better in school, less, fighting with his siblings. And we did brain mapping before and after. And it was showing, on average, because I did a bunch of different people in that brain mapping, it was showing 25 to 40% change in the brain after a series of sessions. And I know his mother was just so happy to, have to witness those shifts. Are you aware of other types of supportive things that can help? I don't know if it would be reverse or minimize or just help with autism. Like, how else can we draw awareness and support and ideas?
Mm, Well, I would say, depending on the level, there's no need for a cure for autism, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And people just have to embrace who they are. It took me a long time to realize that. But I would say therapy and working out and eating better are definitely good ways to help regulate emotions, whether you're autistic or not. And especially working out is a great one I've been using, specifically weightlifting.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. And tell me about some of your goals. I know you're in college right now, and tell me about some of what's important to you and your goals.
Well, I'm definitely focused on college currently. I'm going to be going online for my junior year come August 19th, so a couple of weeks from now. So I'm focused on that. Then I'm hoping to work for a nonprofit organization centered around autism as a PR person. I'm majoring in communications currently. And
Nice.
eventually, once I retire, I'm hoping to run for some form of political office in this country. I think we could use more neurodivergent minds in political power.
Con- those are very amazing and commendable goals, and you do it. Yes. And in terms of autism, like, can you give us any other explanations of how we can also okay, so let me just back up. I know a lot of people who are in the mid to high functioning range of autism, whether they even identify with it or have been diagnosed with it, but I can sense that maybe they are. Can you give us some more, like what it looks like? Maybe what are the symptoms of like medium and high functioning?
Well, like I said, at high functioning, you just have trouble with social stuff. That's what's to look out for. And you like having a routine you do every day. You like schedules and predictability, and you have a trouble with organization. Those are some of the symptoms for me. For the mid range, I haven't really thought about it, but I would say honestly about the same. But maybe you have a little bit more trouble with the emotional stuff.
Hmm. And how can people who uh, want to interact with medium and high functioning, how can we, what would be the best approach that we could take?
A kind, inclusive approach, not just for someone with autism, but for anyone for that matter, no matter what gender or race or sexuality they are. Because look at the state of the world right now. We're
Yeah,
divided over whatever petty reasons we have on account of our own ignorance. But if we push those walls aside and realize we're all the same and united in the sense of achieving a common goal, the world would definitely be a much better place to live.
absolutely. Yes. And what is your goal and dream for the world? Like, if you could wave your magic fairy wand or, just create whatever you wanted, how could the world look and feel and be? Like, would there be more peace, more love, more acceptance? Give me a picture.
Absolutely, all those are perfect. More peace, love, and positivity, and acceptance of people, and less ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm, I personally love coming from that acceptance perspective. And I'm wondering, how can we invite more people who maybe fall under the ignorant category or the uneducated category to want to learn more about it and want to come from that place of inclusion and acceptance? Do you have any ideas there?
I would say let them stumble and fall and hit rock bottom because of that, and they'll turn their lives around eventually. And if they really want to change, then help them out. take them to various autism groups or history centers or that kind of thing to help them learn. Invite them to whatever you have going on that incorporates diversity. We do whatever it takes to get them out of that dark space.
Mm-hmm. And what does neurodiversity mean to you?
It means a different way of thinking.
I like that. I like that definition. And if someone wants to, for example, invite you to come and speak on their show or their college campus or their corporation, because you're all about bringing that awareness and activism, front and center at a national and likely global, audience, what is the best way for people to actually connect with you?
I mainly use Facebook for these appearances. You can follow me on there at Kadin Ronald, KadinRonald.
Hmm. And go ahead and repeat it one more time for them.
It's my Facebook is KadinRonald.
Thank you. So connect with Kadin. See how inspiring he can be for your community, and bring that awareness and attention so that, collectively we can come from that space of acceptance, of love, of loving people no matter what their brain is, thinking, saying, doing, no matter what color they are, no matter what race or status, because peace on earth is possible, but we have to start from within. And being able to have more conscious conversations like this one to just shed some light can be so powerful. So, Kadin, any final thoughts or words that you want to share with the audience?
I would say keep spreading positivity. Thanks for having me, Tiffany.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Keep up the great work. You've got this. It supports you. Much and lots of good positivity while you are completing your college degree and getting
Thank
that,
you, ma'am.
yeah, and in communication, so that you can then, communicate this message more easily out in the world. We need more people to bring awareness. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, Tiffany.
My pleasure. Okay. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.